Curious. Look at the modern home. We bring cats into spaces built entirely for human comfort and convenience. Inside these walls, we often feed them grain-heavy kibble and expect them to adapt to our loud households, assuming they share the social needs of a dog. But the domestic cat is an obligate carnivore, a solitary apex predator that has remained biologically unchanged for thousands of years. Applying canine or human biological models to a feline carries severe risks because their internal systems operate on an entirely different set of rules. Failing to account for this evolutionary history creates a profound disconnect between the cat's specialized internal systems and the human world we've built around them. Over thousands of years consuming small prey as their exclusive food source, cats lost the biological tools required to process nutrients typically found in plants. This molecular comparison shows exactly what they lost. A cat completely lacks salivary amylase, the enzyme that initiates carbohydrate digestion in the mouth. They even have a genetic deletion that removes sweet taste receptors. This chart illustrates the result of that specialization. Because their bodies are built to burn amino acids for energy, a cat requires 2 to 3 times more protein than an adult human or dog. Highlighting their metabolic pathways, we see that cats can no longer synthesize essential building blocks internally. They must extract preformed compounds like taurine and arginine directly from animal meat. If those specific amino acids drop too low, the body fails. A taurine deficiency leads to dilated cardiomyopathy and permanent blindness, while a lack of arginine allows ammonia to build up in the blood, causing neurological collapse. The feline digestive system is a precision engine. Depriving it of these meat-based compounds leads to rapid, systemic metabolic failure. That specialization extends to how they perceive their environment. A cat navigates the world through an extreme olfactory system, using up to 200 million scent receptors and a specialized vomer nasal organ to process chemical data. They deposit pheromones from their cheeks and paws onto furniture and walls. This invisible chemical map tells them their core living area is secure. When we wash the floor with a citrus detergent or introduce a new sofa, these alien odors obliterate that safety map. This diagram shows the internal reaction to that sensory threat. The brain's hypothalamic pituitary adrenal, or HPA axis, locks into overdrive. It triggers a cascade of stress hormones that flood the bloodstream and cause systemic inflammation. A normal, quiet living room is suddenly perceived as a hostile landscape. The cat is plunged into a state of chronic physical anxiety. This is where owners see behaviors they find frustrating: sudden aggression, urinating outside the litter box, or marking walls. Veterinarians recognize this as a manifestation of feline interstitial cystitis, or FIC. It is a physical disease driven by the severe environmental stress of that HPA axis overdrive. Urine marking is a biological response to stress. By leaving its own scent, a cat attempts to boost its confidence and reclaim a sense of territorial security in a perceived hostile environment. The internal inflammation from FIC can become so severe that this marking behavior often deposits blood-tinged urine. Punishing a cat for house soiling targets an animal that is already in distress. It spikes their stress hormones and accelerates the cycle of disease. To resolve these crises, we have to align the home environment with feline biology. First, we correct the fuel. That means moving away from plant-heavy diets and transitioning to high-protein, low-carbohydrate sources that mimic the nutrient profile of their natural prey. Next, we restore their sensory boundaries. Using synthetic F3 facial pheromone diffusers replaces the calming chemical signals they use to mark a territory as safe. We also have to address how they age. Feline cognitive dysfunction syndrome is a physical deterioration of the brain caused by oxidative stress. It requires active management with antioxidants and fatty acids. By aligning our homes with their evolutionary needs, we can lower oxidative stress and allow the HPA axis to return to a baseline state, stopping the cycle of behavioral distress. True pair requires us to look past the domestic exterior and revere the wild, highly specialized predator underneath. Rejecting the assumption that a cat is just a small dog is the only way to prevent the progressive damage of chronic malnutrition and sensory-driven stress. When we respect their evolutionary reality, we secure their health and establish a relationship built on genuine biological respect.